Sean, Amaryllis, welcome. Amaryllis, to you first. How do you see the role of the CMO changing?
Look, that's a very good question. Years back when recruiters would be calling, they would be asking, are you a brand marketeer or are you a performance marketeer? And I'm actually glad to see that the division is not here anymore. I think technology is providing the right toolkit for all marketeers to deliver exceptional growth results for their companies. So I'm very happy to see that the role is becoming much more around knowing the customer, but also delivering good results without that division.
How have you seen the role evolve, Sean, in your experience?
Quite a bit. I think that a few years ago maybe there was too much focus on just branding and communications. And what I like is that probably now, people talk about going back to performance and data analytics. For me, it's like simplifying and going back into business. Starting with what are the business objectives that we need to deliver on. Marketing is a tool, and then taking a holistic point of view that combines both data and creativity. How do we deliver, new initiatives and new programs?
What advice would you have for marketers that are struggling to get buy-in from the top?
For me, it's all about gaining credibility, and you gain credibility by talking the language of business, not the language of marketing. It's something very basic, but we've created too much jargon over the last couple of decades, and if we have to simplify and again talk the language of the general manager, the CEOs, the CFOs. Second, show results. Not only if we want to build for the long term, we need to deliver in the short term. So pick, the low-hanging fruit where you can show that you have the rigor, the analytical rigor, and to measure everything, to deliver the results, and that's going to unlock further investments that allow you, to keep going.
What happens when you can get that alignment, that collaboration right between CMOs and CFOs and the whole C-suite?
I think if you cannot get that, it gets too dysfunctional, and what happens is that marketing starts getting away from the business and gets marginalized. It doesn't become a key business driver, so that's a big risk, and we have to make sure that we don't fall in the trap of just moving away into our own world where we're happy because we're doing campaigns or specific initiatives, but where the rest of the business is not seeing you and your team as a key player.
Finally, to you both, what are some of the trends you're excited about at the moment? Amaryllis?
Yeah, building on what Sonia was just saying, I think the obsession that we're actually seeing nowadays for data and measurement and actually understanding the impact of the activities, I think it's one of the key discussions we're having with most of our partners and clients. But also, it would be weird not to mention AI as kind of being one of the core trends that has been discussed a lot. What are the implications on creativity, but overall kind of more broadly marketing?
And for me, I think it's this thing of bringing together creativity and data, as not two separate functions, but two functions that have to complement each other. And obviously, that's a really big challenge because that means that a lot, the current marketeers, they need to reskill themselves to be able to manage both, because what you've had is two very different disciplines, people growing on one discipline and not knowing anything about the other one. And now what you need is more like a Da Vinci type of marketeer that can bring both worlds together.
Sean, Amaryllis, thank you so much.